Hello everyone, I am Alyan Fiverrwala and today we are with Miss Suzie. Miss Suzie, she is a passionate content creator dedicated to spreading positivity and a love for life. So welcome our guest. Hello Miss, how are you?
I'm wonderful, Alan. Thank you so much for this opportunity to interview with you.
I am thankful to you to come in my show. Thank you so much for coming. So Miss, can you please introduce yourself first, please?
Yes, yes. My name is Suzie Milkowich, and I am a retired oncology and hospice nurse, and I am also a myofascial release therapist and a holistic healer, and I love to inspire others to live their best life.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much for introduction. So Miss, can you tell us a little about yourself and your journey so far?
Yes, well, I am 61 years young, and I have had a life filled with hardship and chaos and calamity, if you will. And I have overcome great obstacles to become a registered nurse. And then to continue as a young person, I was orphaned by age 20. Both my parents were deceased, and I was on my own. So I have been blessed by Creator, by Allah, Buddha, God, to have achieved the degree of registered nurse and to continue to study on a daily basis so that I can not only help myself, but when I help myself, then I can help others.
That's great. Thank you so much for this wonderful answer, Miss. So, what inspired you to create a content and share it with others?
Well, I have grown up with a lot of people with negative attitudes and depression, people with some severe mental health issues and just despair. I come from an area of uh, poverty, not so much as maybe in Pakistan, but it was I was blessed with an attitude of gratitude, and if I can enlighten one person every day to put a smile on their face or to help them with their problems of life and just listen to them and be understanding, then my life has been super successful.
Okay, so wonderful. So, what challenges have you faced in building your following on social media?
Well, many of my followers or people from my hometown area, and they are not well educated. Many of them aren't educated at all, and it provides poses a barrier sometimes. If I say go to my YouTube channel or go to my TikTok channel, they're not really sure how to do that, and I try to guide them. And some of them get it, and other people just don't have the time or want to make the time to do so. So random people are now tuning into my channel because I do enjoy life, and I haven't always been able to say that. So at this point in my life, I am just trusting that more people will tune in to learn about living in the moment and being happy with what you have. And yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer. So, how do you stay motivated and maintain a positive outlook in your content?
Well, when I get up every day, I have an attitude of gratitude, and I give thanks to Creator for, first of all, when I open my eyes, it's my birthday because it's another day of being alive. And so I get to experience life and be thankful for it.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so what kind of content do you love creating the most and why?
Well, I like to laugh. That's one of my things. I would call myself a laugh master, and I find humor in many, many things. And maybe some of that comes from the fact that I was a hospice nurse, oncology and a hospice nurse, and I dealt with death and dying all the time. So I brought my humor to my job so that I could lift spirits of people who were not going to be here on this earth for long.
Okay. So, how do you balance your personal life with your social media presence?
Well, I have a timer. I have to set a timer for myself because it's so easy to fall into the trap, the rabbit hole, I would call it, where you just want to scroll and watch and watch and watch and watch. And so I have to uh, I have to talk to myself and say, hey, you know what? You've been on here long enough. And my timer usually goes off and says, oh, you've been on Facebook or YouTube or TikTok for this many hours, and it's time to take a break. So I do so. I shut off my device and I go outside to nature.
That's great. All right. So, have there been any memorable moment that have deeply touched you in your journey?
Yes, most recently, a woman contacted me because she knows that I recently got married to a Pakistani man. And there was a man of interest who has been talking with her for over a year, and she was questioning his motives. Was he really who he says he was? And I helped her do a little private investigating because she's a woman who has a blood cancer and is very ill and has no one to take care of her. And this young man from way up near Afghanistan, I believe, was using her and taking money from her and making up stories. And she was on the naive side and then being unhealthy and scared, having no one in her family to take care of her, that she was latching on to this person in hopes of marriage. And so after doing some research for her and talking with this person, we discovered that there were many inconsistencies in his story. So I just suggested to her that she might want to reconsider, uh, coming to Pakistan, especially with the pollution the way it is, and her breathing problems. That I don't think she would survive an hour in Pakistan, honestly. So I don't know. I know she's devastated because she's been in love with this person, but he wasn't coming from a pure heart. And I hopefully have planted some seeds in her head. I encouraged her to go to psychotherapy, and she has an appointment to see a therapist. And I said, please, please, do the work on yourself and learn to love yourself first before you can love another truly.
Yeah, you are right. So, how do you handle negative feedback or criticisms?
Well, that sometimes is challenging for me because I grew up always defensive, like always, wanting, to protect myself. So now I just listen, and I listen to the criticism or constructive criticism. If someone's giving me positive constructive criticism, that's a little different from negativity. So I am able to listen and then not respond right away, perhaps, if it triggers any anxiety in me, or if I'm feeling like I'm going to be defensive, and if I feel like I'm being attacked, which does happen to me on occasion, I just step back and say, oh, let's discuss this at another time so that my energy can calm down and I'm not coming from a place of fear or anger, that I can take that information that they're giving and really look at it and wonder if it's beneficial to my personal growth.
Okay, that's great. So, is there any habit or routines you follow that help keep you happy and healthy?
Yes, well, uh, when I wake up, when my eyes open at first thing in the morning and I put my feet on the floor, I don't stand right up. And I give gratitude to my God that I get to see another day. And then I start right away with some room temperature water, big glass of room temperature water with lemon in it, and that help alkalinizes my blood. And then I open the front door and I go outside. I see the sun coming through the ginkgo trees. I'm in currently in South Korea, so I'm in a whole different environment. And I'm surrounded by mountains. I make sure that I'm outside more than I'm inside, and that's part of my happiness is, getting fresh air and sunlight and breathing, just being able to breathe and sometimes hug trees. I'm a tree hugger. Occasionally, I will go and hug a tree, and it there's energy all around us, and it's everything is alive. It has energy. So I utilize my surroundings, whether I take my shoes off and go barefoot in the grass or on the pebbles, or I'm hugging a tree, and that helps me to center and to ground myself. Now it looks a little odd, and not many people may know of things called like foresting or earth grounding, but for me, a person who wakes up like a rocket ship with energy, no caffeine, no sugar. I don't sit around and have a cup of coffee in the morning and, oh, I need to wake up. I just wake up and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, it's so inspiring, Miss. So, what do you think make your community to of followers so unique and special?
Well, the ones that are meant to hear the messages that I'm passing on are just random people. Some of them I've never even met, and they reach out to me and they send me positive messages like, "Hey, thank you for being so bubbly," or "Thank you for being so open and honest and vulnerable with your life and sharing not only the joys, but occasionally I do have not always super happy days, more so now than in the past. But so just knowing that people that are meant to find me somehow, maybe a friend says, "Oh, have you seen this person? She's out of this world." And I love everyone who leaves comments for me. And yeah, so that's yeah.
Okay, all right. So, if you could give one piece of advice to aspiring content creator, what would it be?
I would say be honest. Always come from your heart. And if you're doing it just for the money, well, shame on you. If you're doing it to inspire others or to sell products, and not saying that money is an evil thing, but if it's your number one priority, make money, make money, make money. I I'm not a big fan of chasing a dollar. And I would say that come from your heart, be honest, be open, be be real. Just be who you are, and trust that your higher power will guide you to a successful day, a happy day.
Yeah, you are right. So, how has creating content changed or impacted your life?
Well, it's taken a lot of time out of my day. Um, I'm not. I'm really new to content creating or doing it on a daily basis or a weekly basis. So I find that it does take a lot of time, and I am inexperienced and not real knowledgeable in like doing video editing, and even just to sit still to make the time to do that, I find can be overwhelming. And I would much rather play at this stage in my life. I maybe I'm not taking it as seriously as I could, and I don't know. What advice do you have for me? You're a content creator, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you have a favorite story or post that you shared with your followers?
Let's see, a favorite one. Uh, Probably just telling my life stories, like the time that I hid the hot dog. My father was raising me, and I had a hot dog, and the hot dog wasn't the greatest. And the neighbors' hot dogs were the same hot dogs, the same hot dog buns, but for some reason, my hot dog with eating it at my home didn't taste the same. So I hid that hot dog, and my dad found that hot dog months and months later, and now the bun was hairy with mold and green. And not only did he find it, but he made me eat it. So I learned not to hide any more food in the house. If it was something I didn't like, I would sit there until I ate it.
Okay, okay. So now tell me, where do you draw inspiration for your content from?
Well, from God. God, I trust God with everything every day, and without my faith in my higher power, I probably would not be alive, to be honest. And so, like young people, to see young people like yourself who's aspiring to do great things in the world, that gives me inspiration. So you motivate me to be just who I am, and I appreciate you.
Hmm. Okay. So, are there any unexpected skill you have learned as a content creator?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that person to come into my life. The type of learner that I am is I have a hard time watching a video and then trying to recreate what I'm seeing. I do best learning one on one, somebody sitting next to me or someone, on a video chat saying, "Hey, Susie, we can do this," and having them inspire me not to get frustrated, because that's something, if I can't figure it out, I get frustrated fairly easily, and then I'm like, no good.
Hmm.
So if
Okay.
there's any, so excuse me, if
Yeah.
there's anyone listening that has some wicked skills and would like to assist this senior citizen in making better videos, give me a call.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss, for your time for the interview. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.